Hello everyone, it's Debadrita here. So today I'll be doing a card making tutorial using masking technique. Basically, I did some heat embossing and today I'm using the Mendhika stamp set from Mudra craft stamps. If you follow me on Instagram, you would notice that I posted this card for a card making challenge last month. So I thought, why not share the tutorial with you guys. So on a normal white paper, I'm just stamping the elements with Memento dye ink. I love this ink because it gives such crisp and sharp images. I used 4 elements from the stamp set, which are the small flower, the big flower, the paisley and the leaf one. Then I would be fussy cutting them out, and those would be our masks for the card. So these right here are our masks, and now I'm taking the card front, and for that I'm using the Fabriano Elle paper in white. Now I'm just taking the border stamp and placing it onto the acrylic block, and I'm positioning it with the grid lines so that it becomes straight. Then I am inking it with Versamark. Now Versamark is a very sticky, slow drying ink which will make sure that your embossing powder sticks onto the stamped impression. Now after all of that stamping, I took a piece of scrap paper beneath the Fabriano sheet just to catch the excess powder and sprinkle the embossing powder over it. I'm using the Range's embossing powder in liquid platinum. It's a very warm toned metallic color, somewhere between gold and silver, and I just love how elegant it looks after embossing. So I'm just heat setting it with my heat tool, and you can see that the embossing powder is melting away, and I just love how the color turned out. Then I'm inking the top of the border again with Versamark and repeating the same to complete the border. In case of overlapping, just use a dry brush to remove the excess powder, and then you're good to go. Now I'm just covering the border with a piece of paper and stamping the flower over it. Then I'm just placing the mask over the inked image and stamping the bigger flower right over it. So that when you remove the mask, you can see that the portion which is covered did not get any ink, and it seems as if the smaller flower is just over the bigger flower. Then I'm just heat setting it again, and now I will be repeating the whole process by placing these masks in a random way until I am satisfied with the design. Here I am taking the masks and using a scotch tape to secure them in position and then stamping over it. Now I'm just speeding it up as it was a really lengthy process and I do not want to bore you guys with a long video. Now after all of that embossing, for the sentiment I took a rectangular piece of vellum just to fit in that space and a piece of white cardstock a little bit smaller than the vellum. For the sentiment, I'm using the Purely Sentiments brushed stamp set from Mudra and stamping Happy Anniversary and again heat setting it. By the way, all the products I use are listed in the description box below, so in case I missed out anything, just make sure you check it out. Now I'm just using a double-sided tape to stick it with the vellum just like so. Now I really want the sentiment to stand out, so I'm just adding a piece of foam tape just for that extra dimension and sticking it onto the card front. Then I took an A4 sheet of cardstock, folded that in half, and then I am sticking the card front onto it with some foam tape. Now for that final touch, I'm just using some transparent sequins from Mudra's March Release and just adhering them down just to enhance the sentiment a little bit. So this is the final look and I really love how it turned out. I did make a similar looking card using the same stamp set but with gold embossing. And instead of masking, I fussy cut out the elements and then adhered them with foam tape. So that's all for this video. Do subscribe and click on that like button or comment below if you enjoyed watching this. And see you soon in my next video, and till then, take care.